go.
What's up, fight fans?
Maybe.
Welcome to another edition of Split Decision MMA, your weekly MMA podcast covering everything that is mixed martial arts. We cover the news.
You thought we weren't going to be on, huh?
You thought you broke our spirit. We cover the news. We cover the rumors. We read things online, on camera, and people get upset sometimes.
They get upset a lot.
We preview fights. We recap fights. We do everything that's
There's
mixed
a
martial
sign
arts.
for that in sign language. Look it up.
So, yeah, let's start off the show with some news. This is a story that I've been following for a little while. I've been on this for
I
a
would
little
like
while.
to say that not only you've been following it, but in a small way,
I've been involved.
you're emotionally
I've invested a little
vested in what's going on in this whole situation.
We had recently talked about this over the past few months, how World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation failed to pay any of its fighters, failed to pay the hotels, failed to pay quite a bit of people. We talked to Chris
I heard
Lieben.
they put a 5 on it some places.
We talked to Chris Lieben about this. He's very upset. He's entering a lawsuit with World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation.
Now we got Mr. Hendricks.
Over there. Johnny Hendricks recently went on a podcast, I believe it was the Pull No Punches podcast, saying pretty much the same thing.
What's up, Josh?
And
Liqueur.
he was very upset about
Blake. Sounded Blake.
what was being said, and he had said, you know, that basically he also felt that Bas might have been in on it. That why didn't Bas raise any red flags? Why didn't he warn the fighters about what was going on and that sort of thing? Bas Rutten recently went on his Facebook to defend himself a little bit, and he.
But did he?
He said that people were very upset, and that, you know, he's fine with other people believing whatever they want to believe, but he's not okay with fighters believing what's being said online, and that he was in on it. So he decided to go on to MMA Junkie Radio on Friday. He went on.
It's your story. Keep telling me.
Trying to remember what day he went on MMA Junkie.
Was it on the day that we did our podcast last week? Because today's Friday.
28th. When was the 28th?
So Tuesday.
So he decided to go on Wednesday. He decided to go on the show. Drive out to Las Vegas to explain to MMA
We're not
Junkie
credible,
Radio.
especially for dates.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Go on MMA Junkie Radio and explain himself about what happened. He wanted to prove that he had proof on his computer about the money that was in the bank accounts, that he was given bank accounts to and was able to see them, that he was shown the frozen paperwork that shows that the government shut down the bank accounts, and that's why nobody could get their money.
We believe that.
Oh yeah,
We believe that.
he wanted to prove.
I believe that you've seen an account with money in it.
Yeah.
If you would like me to show you an account with money in it, I can show you an account with money in it. Is that money liquidable by me? Probably not.
He wanted to prove that, you know, Tom was in the hospital. Tom is the owner of World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. You know, that people were saying that was fake and all these things. He wanted to go on and kind of clear the air and say that, you know, these things weren't fake.
No, and I don't think they were fake.
So, you know, he went on the show, and then the last thing he put on the Facebook post before it kind of went away, or before he went to do the MMA Junkie is that, like, here's a hidden truth. I was hired as a commentator, but was never the president. Yeah, that'll blow your mind. I'll explain that tomorrow. Which, of course, everybody was like, what? Including myself, who went on Bas Rutten's Facebook page and his Twitter and asked him, Boss, like, how can you say you weren't the president when there's a direct quote from you at the press conference that says, 2.5 months ago, I was asked to be the color commentator for this show, and I was told they would do anything for me to work. I did research and felt that this had a good future. I met with the officials, and now I'm the president.
Is that a direct quote?
That's a direct quote from him.
That's a direct quote. And again, we're not making it up.
Yeah.
That's a direct quote.
That's a direct quote. He also did an interview with Karen Bryant where she introduced him talking about World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. And she goes, so you're the president now, right? That just got made official? And he goes, yep, I'm the president.
That'd be me.
You can't say those things and then turn around and say they weren't true. But he went on MMA Junkie Radio and he said, look, I fought for $2,000 in Japan. Like, I know how hard it is for fighters out there. If there was any red flags, I would have called it off right away and told other fighters not to fight. And he goes, look, I told them everything was going to be okay because I saw bank statements. And, so I told them it's going to be okay. And he says, my number one priority is that the fighters are going to get paid. That's why I told them to sign these fighters. Now, he does go on to talk about, obviously, the issues that they had with Paul Tyler, the matchmaker, who was offering all kinds of money with people, 3 times what they were worth or what they were able to pay.
Whatever he had to do to get him in the ring.
He was talking about, how Paul Tyler was spent a bunch of money, was possibly on drugs, like all these types of things. You can follow the trail, go back through his Facebook post. He talks about all these things in detail. He talks a little bit about on the MMA Junkie radio interview. He then goes back and says, that people are upset, including myself. I went online and said this. I have no problem admitting it, that it seems like either you're in on it or you got taken. I happen to personally believe, Bas, unfortunately, you got taken. I think you believed all of the BS that Tom was selling you, and maybe Tom got taken by Paul Tyler. I don't know. And that's why he believed it, and that's why you believed it. I don't know.
Here's the hardest pill for us to swallow is we have a man who's been tried and convicted.
Tom?
Of fraud.
Yes.
Money.
For a separate...
Money, but it still doesn't matter.
For a separate thing.
It's fraud involving money. It may be money involving real estate, but it's fraud involving money.
Yeah.
What was defrauded from these fighters? Money. And that's what, again, my angle is, and the reason I feel so bad for you and so many people who are emotionally vested in Bas, and that you want to hear him say, I got took. That's what you want
to say it, but yeah, just say it. Like, I'm a huge Bas Rutten fan. I've bought the DVDs. I've bought the books. I have his signature shirts. I have a signed glove behind us. I've met the guy in Las Vegas. He does seem like an amazing person. Really nice guy, straight shooter, always looking out for fans, always looking out for fighters. His name is a gold standard in this industry.
And that's why I believe in all of this. And again, I'm not saying I have absolutely nothing vested in Bas. Nothing at all. I feel the man's made money multiple times in different ways from the sport, from his career, from movies, from everything that he's taken part of. He's been in TV shows.
Yep.
The man has made money. The man is doing well. What I think happens is there's no ill will in what he's doing.
No,
he's not trying to defraud anybody.
No,
but what he doesn't want to come.
Himself?
No, I don't. I just don't. I think I think he's, like I said, he's just going to ride this rocket until it hits the ground. Just never wavering, and just say this the whole time. I truly believed that this was on the up and up. I truly believed that this was going to happen and that everybody was going to get paid at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he flat out, he still to this day keeps defending Tom, and he says, this guy lost.
Happy Friday, Yonan.
This guy lost everything, He said, he lost his company. He lost $500,000. He lost everything on the tickets. He's really down. Don't see him as the bad guy. He has a warehouse full of merch that he's never going to be able to sell.
Take it to a swap meet, bro.
It wasn't a scam from the beginning, because why would he start all those things? It's because he thought he was going to have a second show. But he still is behind him. He does say, however, I'm behind the fighters that want to sue. I totally understand.
Well, how can you be against people who want their money?
Sue the company, because obviously there's nothing that that's going to stop you, and that way you're going to get your money. He claims that Tom will not file bankruptcy, because if they file bankruptcy, they'll never be able to get their money. And he feels that after he's out of jail for these other fraud charges, that he will at least pay half of their purses. He went on the show and said that he paid himself in person. He paid Burt Watson and Jimmy Lennon Jr. out of his own pocket with the money that he has saved up. And that 2 of his friends, Kenny Rice and Stitch Duran, did the show for free after they found out that there was going to be no money. And that if he had all the money, if he had millions of dollars, he would pay the fighters out of pocket. That's how confident he is in Tom. The guy who's in jail for fraud will pay him back.
You can't tell me with his little boxing system, and then he's been on TV. He was on The King of Queens, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's very sad. Again, when you start seeing one of your heroes, one of the guys you look up to, one of the people who got you into the support, one of the guys you respect in the industry go through this, it like breaks my heart, man.
I get it.
And I don't think he.
I don't get specifically for Bas, but like for me, there's people I could see if they did the same thing. I feel like
he didn't quite clarify everything that he needed to clarify. He even says to himself that he was very emotional and kind of speeding through it, and that he was jumping all over the place on the interview, and he was, he was kind of going ahead. I think there's still some clear answers. Like, again, the whole presidential thing. He tries to explain it as, I never signed a contract, so I wasn't the president. Even though, yes, it was for show, we were trying to get attention to the... At least this is the gist that
if you go back and watch our podcast, we even said that. We said that the reason they were signing on certain people and certain people were being brought in was for name recognition.
He basically, from the gist, if you watch the MMA...
Dodge even said the same thing about PFL.
The MMA... Oh, I did. Which, by the way, he talks about, he's no longer part of PFL. PFL let him go. He doesn't know if it had to do with this, but...
Of course it did.
People think it did.
I believe it did. That's my personal opinion.
Basically, if you watch the MMA Junkie show, it
of a
looks
non-credible source.
What he's trying to say is that he got signed on as a name, and he was so confident that the show was going to do well and the money was there, he didn't sign the contract. Like, he didn't have to sign the contract. But for all the people that are saying that he was the president, technically I didn't sign the contract, so I didn't lie. Bro, that's like trying to tell me Ross and Rachel weren't on a break. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of technicality are you trying to pull here, dude? Like, it's very disappointing. So anyway, watch the MMA Junkie interview.
Hey, I'm just telling you, since we're in 47 countries, there's 45 countries that don't get that reference.
Yeah, they might.
Maybe?
I gotta believe it was a worldwide phenomenon, sir. Moving on from there, again, watch both interviews, come to your own conclusion. I feel Bas Rutten got taken. I still to this day feel like it's a sad state of affairs. And again, I do not know if ever World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation will pay anybody, ever, even though they're in multiple lawsuits.
I'm gonna go back and find some of the articles where they had said that certain people had been paid.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yep. I think some people had been paid.
Yeah,
I think even Bas said they had to pay the production company up front, otherwise they walked.
Right.
But anyway, we'll move on from there. Melvin Manhoef has signed again with Bellator. Very, very cool. Multi-fight deal to remain in Bellator. He hasn't competed. I'm trying to remember the last time he fought. It was 2017, I believe, was the last time he fought. But yeah, Melvin Manhoef back in Bellator. You excited for that?
Oh, yeah.
I like Melvin Manhoef.
Oh, yeah. He's even when he's not fighting, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is definitely.
Even his walk from the back to the front, fun to watch.
John Lineker recently went on Twitter and basically asked for his release. He had said that, he's only fought 4 times since 2016. He goes, I have 5 kids. I have bills to pay. I cannot survive like this. I don't know if it's something personal.
If it is, pay him a telephone bill.
Just tell me and let me go because I have to fight. I have to move on. It's my career. It's my life. I cannot be stuck this way.
Yeah, who's going to pay that extra $10 PG&E's going to stick us all with?
Matchmaker Sean Shelby was unable for comments to the media as of yet. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? John Lineker, do you think he needs to be let go or be given more fights? Or
again, we have so many people to get through. If somebody wants to go, let them go.
Yeah, just let him go?
Yeah. I'm tired. Let me talk about this real quick. If you're somebody who sees a card, and I'm glad Dana did it this week, and you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't complain about it. Don't complain about the so-and-so shouldn't be on a main card like Dan Hardy because he did something. Don't complain. Just don't watch it. It's ridiculous.
Well, that card that we are talking about is this one.
Yeah.
This is Urijah Faber. This is a California kid.
Yeah.
Sactown native.
Yeah.
This is not far from us. Urijah Faber hasn't fought since 2016. Is coming back to fight. This has been rumored for a long time that he's wanted to come back. He is going to be fighting in his hometown, Sacramento, July 13th, on a fight night card. That card was released this week, right?
That means we're going to get a Tupac.
And I believe that Aspen Ladd is on the main event. Is that correct? Also her hometown or her area?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, some fan went on there and was like, this is bullshit. Why is Aspen Ladd and so-and-so headlining this card? And Dana White said, hey, fuckface. Don't watch it.
I wish he would use Tommy Tollhole's clown shoes. Because I know he talks to Tommy Tollhole. I wish he would at least once, just once, I'd like to really come out of his mouth. Hey, clown shoes.
So, yeah, California kid, man. Urijah Faber coming back. Are you happy for Urijah? Does he need to continue fighting?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to break a hand, right?
He is also who's he going to be fighting? Do we have the list there?
Ricky Simon.
Ricky Simon. There
I don't know how safe a fight this is.
For Urijah or for Simon?
No, for Simon. I mean for Urijah, especially since he has. I'm not saying that this is the Sage Northcutt type of fight.
It's a tough fight to come back to.
Yeah, it is.
Another fighter in trouble, Alex Cowboy Olivera.
Is he?
Is in trouble, possibly.
We don't know. We have
Brazil.
We have rivaling statements.
Police told the media that his ex-wife filed a report Saturday morning accusing him of pulling her by the hair, punching her, breaking down doors and windows, getting into an altercation with security. It's kind of say that he was basically that he appeared under the influence, but he insisted on riding a motorcycle with his 5-month-old son. His ex-wife tried to stop him from doing it, and that's when he hit her, drove away with the child, and all these kinds of things that happened. However, Olivera's team is telling everybody that he is innocent, that the real details will come out. His lawyer went to the police station to give their version of what actually happened. We do not have those details as of yet. However, this is what is being reported as of last week.
All right. And because of the delay, Yonan said butt chin definitely in the house. I'm wondering, can we sell those for Urijah? Little like strap-on butt chins?
Dude, that'd be genius.
So everybody could wear them?
That would be genius.
That's smart. And if you do steal our idea, at least like put our name on it or something.
Send us one.
Send us one. Send us a butt chin.
I'll wear it for the show.
I have one, but I don't have
covered.
a chin.
It's covered. Yeah. UFC's clearing house, man. They released a bunch of fighters over the week. One of those fighters, Brian Caraway. I don't even remember knowing that Brian Caraway wasn't already released. I thought he had already left the organization.
Again, like we discussed earlier, I believe they just didn't re-up.
Well, apparently he has a new home, and that's going to be South Korea.
There you go.
He's going to be fighting in Battlefield Fighting Championship. Now, if you remember anything about Battlefield Championship when we talked about it last year, they were the South Korean promotion that folded and didn't pay their fighters.
Oh.
But they got new investors, new people. They paid everybody. That had to happen, and it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. We're gonna have Battlefield FC2 on.
So is this another World Series of Fighting?
On this card, we got Will Brooks and Abe Trujo. We got Brian Caraway. We got some big names on this, man.
You keep saying
Shannon Rich. Remember him?
Okay.
Anybody that wants to go to Korea and fight can go to Korea and fight. Apparently.
Again. Not saying anything bad about Shannon Rich.
Also released, though, over the time, Joseph Morales, Wilson Rise, Eric Shelton, and the one that shocked everybody, Elias Theoduro.
So does this mean he can't be a ring dude anymore?
No, he can still be a ring dude.
He's still a ring dude?
Yeah, why can't he be a ring dude?
Okay.
Why can't he be a ring dude? That has nothing to do with his contract at the UFC. That's an Invicta separate contract.
Okay. But Invicta's owned by UFC.
Not really. They just have a strong partnership. A
subsidiary.
Yeah, so he
And that's not factual because we are not a reliable source.
He lost his last fight to Derek Brunson. He was criticized on social media about his fighting style, saying that it was unorthodox and, this is why he wasn't successful and all these sorts of things. He flat out said, look, for some time I've prided myself at being an unorthodox fighter. I was able to outsmart my opponent in a form of competition. I can see now to many that the entertainment, those are the air quotes for these just listening because not many of you watch us on YouTube.
Only 12.
Of the violence, the entertainment of the violence outweighs the victory. I'm looking to take some time off to grow as a martial artist, but as a prize fighter. I don't know. It still seemed to shock everybody that he was let go just because of one fight. We talk about this all the time. Fighters come and go. The roster is absolutely ginormous now. Is this somebody, though, you're sad to see go from the UFC roster?
I don't think you heard me earlier. I think quite a few need to leave from the UFC roster.
But is this someone that you were excited to watch in the UFC?
Nah, I can't know. I think my wife and everybody else's old ladies are going to be more upset.
More upset that he was gone?
Yeah.
No.
What stands out?
His time on The Ultimate Fighter for me.
That's it?
He's had a couple good fights after that. I'm not saying that, he was bad or good as a... I don't know. I'd have to go back and really think about it.
No, but I mean, like, if you're going to tell somebody, Elias Theoduro, you can expect him to...
be unorthodox. Every time I watched him and he'd be on TV, I'd be like, That's Elias Theoduro. Dude, he's kind of crazy. He's got a weird style. He's not very straightforward. Yeah. Most of his fights are decision.
Wait. Decision.
Oh, yeah.
Decision.
He won the Ultimate Fighter at middleweight when he was 9-0. He's 16-3. He's only lost 3 fights since that show. All of them by decision.
Yeah, so, I mean, if anybody asked me from here on out, I'd be like, he really likes to impress judges. You can expect him to impress judges.
Fair enough.
2 out of 3 times, he will impress judges.
and again, we talk about where the game is at now. You got to be not only exciting. That's why your favorite organization works, because they reward guys for finishing the fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think they have more finishes than other organizations?
I think it gives you something to work towards.
Besides just a possible bonus?
Yeah.
Because you're guaranteed a bonus, right?
Yeah. I think Dana should do that.
Maybe.
You get 50,000 extra if you finish in the first. You get 25,000 extra if you finish in the second. Nothing for the third.
You got to get something for finishing in the third.
$5.
5,000. Anyway,
give you a secret decoder ring.
Just rotate it. All right, finished at this time. It just continues to rotate, and then as it goes, it's like your money disappears.
Yeah.
You're like one of those assholes that goes into a restaurant and goes, "All right, I got $20 in ones, Mr. Waiter. This is your tip for every time I don't like you or you take too long. I'm taking $1 off, and then we get down to nothing."
Actually, that's really good. So at the beginning of the first, it starts at around like 75,000. As it gets closer to the end of the first,
starts ticking away.
Yeah. It gets down. It gets down to 50,000. Then you start the next one. It starts at 49.5.
Just to clarify, this is a bonus, not their actual payday.
No. It's a bonus.
Okay.
No, your payday is signed before you get in the ring.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. Yeah.
It depends on the organization, apparently. Anyway, Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to be playing a role as a promoter in Dagestan this July. He's going to be help promoting Guerrilla Fighting Championships. This is going down in Dagestan, Russia. You can see his little logo right here, Khabib, with an eagle wing. Nobody knows exactly what he's going to be doing, but his name is on there. His manager, Ali, posted this poster saying that he is going to be involved. So more fighters getting into the fight business.
Right.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, especially in other countries.
Yeah, I think it does well.
Get the kids off the street.
Another fighter getting a big payday, Yoel Romero.
I don't know how much of this money he's actually going to see.
That's what this whole article is about, sir. Yoel Romero, as you may remember, entered into a case against Gold Star Performance Supplement Company, okay? He got busted for tainted supplements. He got busted for an ASADA violation. He immediately said, I've never taken anything illegally. I've never ingested anything that should have anything in it. Here's everything that I took.
Right.
Instead of, I will give him to this credit. Instead of being like, I ran out of that stuff and I don't know where it went. He went, no, I have it. It's here.
Right.
I kept everything.
Right.
Which is smart.
And for any fighters here on out, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
At least when you first open something, scoop out a little bit, put it in a little Ziploc, mark it.
Name it.
And then put it off to the side.
Yeah. So that way you
anything you take, anything you ingest in your body.
Yeah.
Take 1 or 2, set them to the side so that if you do pop, you can have it tested.
So he sent his in. They said, wow, that is right. That is where your elevated whatever came from. So we will let you go on a limited sentence. He then turned around, sued this company, Gold Star Performance, for tainted product containing a banned substance. Remember, this happened back in 2016. It just now came out. He was now awarded $27 million.
Now, is this based off how many fights he missed out on?
No, it is based off of basically it's like emotional distress, the false identification, like all these things. Like he got like 3,000 for each one.
Okay.
But then because it happened in New Jersey and it's considered fraud, it basically got tripled.
Oh.
Because of the way the statute of how it works, the law works in New Jersey. So he was awarded $27 million by the courts. However, we do have a slight issue. Nobody showed up from the company to defend the company for this. So the company didn't show up to court and be like, hey, we want to say that this wasn't us or there's no way. Nobody just showed up.
Oh, so it was a default?
Yeah, the judge just basically went, you guys got no defense, nobody's showing up, no lawyers, no representatives, nobody's coming up.
So there definitely will be an appeal.
He immediately signed and gave him the $27 million, exactly what he was asking for. There are rumors that, I mean, obviously, if the organization doesn't offer defense and they don't show up, it's a really bad sign. There are rumors that, they pretty much can file Chapter 11 and fold and never have to pay a cent.
Yeah, because I'm guessing $27 million is a lot from a supplement company.
Yeah. I mean, especially a smaller one like this, right?
Right.
So we don't know the financial status of Gold Star Performance. However, it does not feel like it'd be a stretch if they decided to just Chapter 7 be like, sorry, we're not paying anything.
Yeah. There's Chapter 7, 11, and 13, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Or are those Clampers chapters?
Both.
Both.
Moving on from there. Jessica Andrade recently put on her Instagram this picture that went absolutely viral of her wearing nothing but a belt.
And
is this a new trend of champions?
I don't know.
Pose naked?
I believe there's another story that why she may have been with just nothing but her belt.
I mean, this was going on for like 2 days. People were like, oh man, oh yeah.
And then they put Cejudo's head on it.
Oh, dude, there's all kinds of stuff that was going on.
They put a lot of people's head on it.
Yeah, so basically, Jessica Andrade posed nude. You can find that on her Instagram if you really want to look it up. She's covering her bits with the belt. But apparently, this is a new trend for champions. You just walk around naked.
A lot of people run around naked.
I mean, dude, Tim Sylvia got laid in his belt.
Yeah.
He also walked around Walmart in it. Not naked, but walked around Walmart in it a lot.
I hear he's over 4 bills right now.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's super heavyweight. And he still wants to fight.
Wow.
I don't know where he's going to fight.
He's the size of a Yugo. Don't let Nagano punch him.
However, another story came out just recently that she was robbed at gunpoint on
Which might
Thursday.
explain this.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't have nothing but the belt.
Her and her wife.
And apparently a phone to take picture with.
Her phone and her no, I think maybe this is the one that she was trying to give to the police, being like, this is all I have left. This is all I have left.
They sent that to the insurance company.
Yeah.
That's all I got left.
Her and her wife got robbed at gunpoint in Brazil. They took all of her documents. They took her car. They took her phones, her credit cards, absolutely everything. Her passport. I mean, everything got taken from Jessica and her wife while in Brazil. So it is possible they robbed her of everything but her belt.
Has anybody told our border authorities that to look out for Jessica Andrade coming across the border?
I don't know if I would. If I was going to rob somebody, not that I would ever rob somebody, but don't you think you take the belt? Just saying, like, it's probably. Do you think the belt's easier to flip than like passports and stuff?
I think in Brazil that everything's flippable.
Everything's flippable.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing you can't sell in Brazil.
And
I don't know that for a fact. I'm not a credible source. Let's not get upset, people.
Let's not get upset.
Don't get mad.
Another story we got here before we get into...
I could sell the belt in Empire. If you're from California or Modesto and you know Empire, you know that's the truth.
Let's talk about some stuff before we get into some fights. Brendan Schaub recently went on his podcast talking about how he doesn't want to have to do anything illegal like, stream a fight or whatnot because he was having so much trouble getting the ESPN app to work. He then went on a later podcast and said, I don't think the UFC realized the level of pure professionalism these dark web dudes have with these links.
It's not even the dark web, bro.
I'm not going to say I did watch it illegally. I'm not going to say I didn't. But when I clicked a link, that had better quality than any shit I've ever seen. It's super scary. And here's the thing that's scary. I got 2,000 DMs with different links to illegally stream this thing when I said I was having trouble. And then he said, just for a database and research, I went through 10 or 15 of them on Reddit. Reddit has an MMA thread where these events get posted, and we're talking clear as day. I saw the fight. I'm anti-illegal streaming, but this balances it up a little bit. You never release your source, man.
No. I've talked about it. If anybody wants to blame me, I have talked about it. I said that if you want my money, you better clean this up, but I never put anybody on blast.
Reddit banned. It's very popular. Reddit MMA streams subreddit with over 160,000 people as a member. Completely shut down. People are saying this is Brendan Schaub's fault. They're saying he pointed to the UFC and said, hey guys, this is where I get my stuff, or this is where you can get it illegally. I would say don't fuck with the trolls because now your Rotten Tomatoes thing is you are a 9% rotten. Or
I don't think that has anything to do with what he said.
For his stand-up, you think his stand-up's not good? I haven't seen it. That's just what I've been saying.
I don't know.
Brandon Schaub.
I don't want Rogan coming after me. And I'm not worried about Schaub, but I know Rogan's very defensive. And Callan. I don't want Brian after me either. I'm actually more, out of all three of those people, I'm scared of Brian Callan. He's like shifty. I don't know.
He's all on that alpha brain. Have you seen those commercials that are on?
Yeah.
He's always like, oh, forgot my alpha brain.
Yeah, and on the Goldbergs and the new show, the 90s or whatever, he's always sipping the green Hulk juice. I don't know. Callan's scary. He's got those socks that go all the way up to his calves.
If you used to go to Reddit to find your streams and you find yourself not having a stream, blame Brandon Shaw.
Well, keep it to yourself, Yonin. Don't put it on blast where the other streams are, Yonin.
Before we get into the fights, we have to talk about a little story we did last week.
Oh, here's a little story I got to tell.
Yeah. First and foremost, apparently we have to make this very clear. We used to do this almost every show, and apparently we have to make it clearer for this show.
Oh, yeah.
That the views and opinions expressed by us two idiots are by us two idiots. They do not represent anybody we're affiliated with.
We are not a credible source.
Absolutely not. We read stuff offline to you guys and see what you have to say about it.
Right.
We read stuff to each other offline and see what we have to say about it.
We don't make any of it up. Like when we were talking about the whole Bas Rutten story, that this is all factual stuff.
And
the things that we talked about last week were published 2 days before we talked about it by 3 other major MMA weekly updates.
Also, we were accused of getting paid to do this show and representing somebody else, and that they should be to blame for the things that we have to say. We don't get paid for this shit. Like flat out, we don't get paid for this shit.
No.
So we don't work for anybody.
Yeah, there's money. Look, there's money that moves around to make sure that this show goes out and that things are taken care of, but we don't make money from this.
We don't make money from this at all.
No.
This is a hobby. In fact, my fiance constantly tells me, why do you still do this thing? It doesn't make us any money.
Yeah. It's actually probably one of the cheaper hobbies I've ever had.
Yeah.
I still say my RC car hobby was way more expensive than this. But still.
We don't work for anybody. Let's just make
we don't.
We don't work for anybody. If you have an issue with us, just hit us up. We'll talk to you about it. We'll probably laugh about it, but we'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, don't post it somewhere you don't think we're not going to see it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's 100 people on your list that let us know.
Yeah. Also, so let's talk about what we're talking about here. Last week we did a story that the Florida Athletic Commission was looking into bare knuckle boxing. They were looking into the fact that there's an organization, BKFC, who's going to have an event there, that they might have to be wearing gloves. This became a big controversial thing. One of the reporters that reported it, we talked about, he apparently didn't get A, sarcasm, or B, understand what we were saying.
Right. We never said that anybody smokes crack.
Yeah, if I call you a crack reporter, that doesn't mean you smoke crack, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe you just don't know what crack reporter went.
Yeah,
I'm sure
sans sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find the definition online. I'm sure people have showed you that definition by now. But that does not insinuate that you smoke crack at all.
Yeah, I mean,
That
especially
doesn't even insinuate that you're a reporter. Because if you don't get paid, I guess you're just a friend? Like, I don't know.
Like if you're two brothers that put a show out and then you're going to talk about our show when you don't even know when your show starts. You were on YouTube for almost 7 minutes on at least 11 of your shows, staring at your camera, not knowing when your show started or when it didn't start.
Anyway,
47 countries last week. And
we don't got to prove nobody's nobody.
No, but I'm just saying.
I don't care.
And I want to thank the guy because the way I backtracked our analytics, a lot of people came straight from your page to watch. And
which he took credit for.
Yeah, he took credit for it and came and listened to our audio.
Well,
and subscribed to our audio.
All I was saying last week was it seemed fishy that somebody who worked for an organization and now works for a competitor would bring this up when no one else was.
Yeah.
It seems fishy. That was the only thing I was trying to get at.
And then how are you going to be mad at us when we beat out, I think, 2 of the guys that talk smack? We beat out for the award that you gave us an award.
Yeah. You can have it back.
You told us You're my boys.
You can have their award
I still got that, but I'm not going to put it out. I'm not even going to say your name because we don't believe in giving press to people.
If you like to claim that nobody watches our show, obviously you did because you had to copy part of it to put on your post.
Yeah, and you had to watch the show all the way up to this part because there's really no way to just like skip through our show to find it. So you had to listen to the whole show to get to this spot to watch it. But you will get your wish.
I will never call anybody a crack reporter again.
I don't think we're going to refer to anybody that has to deal with you as a reporter.
Yeah, it's some craziness. There was an uproar online. There were people that were very upset at us because of our opinions and decided that they wanted to put us on blast, even though they don't like putting people on blast.
And all 6 of you hurt my feelings.
There was at least 10.
Was there?
Let's get into some.
Well, still, that's if you put 2 more, that's the only views we get, right?
It's true.
We barely get 12.
PFL 14, which is technically PFL 4 for 2019.
I don't know.
It's going to be happening.
The whole number thing,
next
I don't
Thursday,
get.
But we will not be on the air on Thursday. We'll be on the air on Friday. Hopefully, we do a magical show from Las Wages, right?
Why you don't tell people we're going to be there. Those other people that they might look for us. That's close to where they're from.
Well, anyway, yeah. So we got PFL having their show next Thursday. On the main card, you've got Vinny Megales going up against Emiliano Sordi. Kevin Tyler going up against Mohamed Daris. Satoshi Aishi going up against Zeke Willie. There is a whole stacked card. This is going to be heavyweights and light heavyweights on ESPN2, on ESPN Plus. Make sure you check that out. PFL, Dennis's favorite organization.
Woo!
And on from there, this weekend, of course, we have UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus 11, UFC Fight Night 153, UFC Fight Night Stockholm, UFC Fight Night Gustafsson versus Smith. All those are one event. You can watch it on ESPN Plus. This is going down tomorrow. Who do we got in here? We got Joel Alvarez going up against Daniel Bilorado, Darko Stosic going up against Devin Clark, B. Malakecki going up against Eduardo Santana, Nick Hine against Franco Camacho.
That's going to be a good fight.
Stevie Ray against Leonardo Santos. I like that fight. Knocked over our stupid hat. Got Tonya,
piece of shit.
Tonya Evinger going up against Lena Landsberg.
Okay, Tonya Evinger. If she loses this fight, where does she end up?
Back to Invicta.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Okay.
Rostem Arkbek going up against Sergey Kanandozko. Daniel Timer on your main card going against Sung Bing Jo. Damir Hadzakovic going against Christos Gallegos. Man, there's a lot of European names that I can't pronounce.
Imagine that in Stockholm.
I know, vowels and consonants all mixed together. Makawin, Amir Khani going against Chris Fishgold. Jimmy Manuwa going up against Alexander Rekic.
Is he, so Manuwa, what do you think, what's he looking at? I'm trying to put this together.
Not get cut.
He's
on a 3-fight losing streak.
I don't know. I just keep going back to where
2 of them are
where
by
DC
knockout.
kept telling him, he's like, Jimmy, you don't want this life.
2 of them are by knockout.
I know.
Think it's literally if he loses, he's done.
Yeah.
At least in the UFC, possibly done fighting.
Yeah, when Dad, when Big DC Dad told you, Jimmy, you don't want none of this life.
Like I don't know. Maybe I don't think he's done fighting forever, but I think he'll be done in the UFC. Personal opinion. Your main event, Alexander Gustafsson going up against Anthony Smith. This is a big comeback fight for both of these fighters.
Smith needs to win.
So does Gustafsson.
I don't know. I think I think there's enough weight in Gustafsson.
Aren't both these guys coming off the loss from John Jones? Yep. Both of them are coming off a loss from John Jones.
Right.
This is to get back into the mix. This is to get back and show that, John Jones might be one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I don't think either of these guys are gone from a loss. I don't think either of these guys are gone from a loss, but to me personally,
back in the saddle.
Yeah, to me, I think Smith needs it more.
Smith needs it more?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Gustafsson get it.
All right, I'm rooting for Smith.
You are?
Yeah.
Make sure you pick up a shirt like Ashley Evans Smith here. We didn't, you got shirtschool.com/SDMMA. This is a personal site that we put up. We're not affiliated with Shirtsicle. I don't want them mad if you think that you don't like our shirts.
Yeah, don't be mad.
Just tell us that they suck.
Don't unfriend.
Shirtsicle won't care. They probably just well, you didn't sell anything this month.
Right.
And that's it We're coming to you live from the SinCal studios.
And if
Here
you
on the
do
209 Modesto.
That's right. And if you do credit card business online or in your store, get a hold of Dependable Solutions at dependable-solutions.net. They can take up to 70% off your credit card. I guess it would be your service fees.
Yeah, service fees.
Okay.
That's it.
And that's it.
You have a good night. We'll see you at the fight.
Yeah, maybe next weekend.
I ain't asking for much, just a pint and some bud so I can get my buzz on right now. Any day of the week, I'ma work till I need some time for me. Well, it's right now. I'ma close my eyes, I'ma roll me 5, I'ma smoke them down, fucking right now. I don't need your help, I'ma do it by myself like I am anyways, fucking right now. I'ma stare at my walls, I'ma forward my calls, I ain't looking for a convo right now. I'ma dim down the light so I ain't gotta write, cause I ain't got time for that right now. I'ma space the fuck out, I'ma think about how far I be.